Good evening, my fellow colleagues who are listening and my learners, of course. Welcome. I want us to have a discussion under this paper. This is the first trial of grade 8 2023. It is a good paper that I feel it is good that we have a look at it and see what was supposed to be done. So I welcome you to the lesson so that we can march forward together. Without wasting a minute, I want us to go through what we call the first segment of any social study paper, whereby the first 7 questions comes from the map reading sector. And with me here, I have a paper from Gendro area. The Gendro area, you can see on my screen, we have Lake Sori. You can see Lake Sori. We have the fish bay. We have the fish bay here. You can see this kind of vegetation. This is what you call shrubs. And the funny thing, one point that learners should understand, shrubs does well where we have a hot and wet climate, places of low altitude, and simply that's why we have shrubs near the lake. We have what we call a quarry here, and also you can see the type of settlement. We can say that this is what we call clustered. This is what we call clustered, whereby people live in groups. And these groups mostly they have been attracted by economic activities, of course. We have what we call the paddy farm. So this is where rice is grown. And we have shop. So we can say we have marketing, shop and marketing. So we have trading going on in this map. We have river Denda. You can see the river rises from a hilly place, from the forest, from the southwestern side of the map, all the way to the northeastern side of the map. So we have this feature formed at the mouth of the river. This is what we call an estuary. An estuary, a situation whereby a river ends in one channel. We call it an estuary. Then also, we have where two rivers meet. This is what we call a confluence. We call it a confluence, and a small river joining a big river is called a tributary. Then also we can say that the river starts from the forest. In the forest, we have sawmilling. You can see the SM for sawmilling, and there is a cash crop at this point. This cash crop is what we call the tea farm. You can see the tea. This is the tea farm, and this is the tea factory. So we can agree in that the climate towards the southwestern side of the map, the climate is cool and wet, simply because you can see high altitude. You can see what we call tea in this region. So, can we go through the map? The key, we have the Ketro dip, I hope the CD. We have something like, this is a mosque. Can we go through the Kemen? Good. You can see the police station. So we can say we have security, shrubs hot and wet, the tea plantation cool and wet, market tea factory, the fish pay. We have the huts, the shrine, the health center, the sub-county, we have the sawmilling. We have madrasa for the Muslims, the Maram Road. So we have the abandoned quarry. Oh yes. So we can say that we had mining there before, but now this one is abandoned. This is a school. We have the Tamakid Road, the member of the county assembly, and we have the caterer. The first question goes like this. The land in Gendro area rises towards. The land rises towards a high area. This land, you can see the flow of the river. The land rises from northeast, rises to southwest. So you can see this is a high area. So this land rises from the northeast to southwest. So the land rises towards the southwest. What is the climate of the northeastern part? The northeastern part near the lake, we have the fish space. So we can say here the climate is hot and wet, simply because we have Lake Isori, and also we have what we call shrubs. You can see, so the shrubs are the hot and wet kind of climate. What is the staple food of the residents in the Gedro area? You can see the Gedro area. When you go through the map, you discover that we only have rice as the staple food. So we can say that rice is the staple food, since we have the paddy farm and we don't have any cash crop, any food crop, in the area. So we can say rice. Which economic activity is least carried out to be likely to be carried out? Learners, it is mining. Why mining? We have said this mining, this quarry is abandoned. You can see. And the most they can say abandoned, the quarry, or exhausted. So the two terms can be used, abandoned or exhausted. The next question here goes to what you call which essential services are urgently needed? Recreation, the health centers. You can see we have hospitals. I think we have hospital somewhere. We cannot miss a hospital somewhere here. Yes, we have what we call health center. So this answer that goes to what we call health services, we have them. Educational services, we have schools in the region. We have schools in the region. Yes, you can see a school. So we have the health center, we have the school, and administrative, we have the office of the MCA, the office of the sub-county, office of the commissioner. So one that is missing, it is what we call recreational services. Which one of the following has a similar feature as the one at the mouth of the river? The rivers with what we call estuaries. Rivers with the estuaries. Learners, we have River Nile. River Nile, one thing, the longest river in Africa, and also this river ends in a delta form. We have River Tana that ends in a delta form. We have River Congo. River Congo forms an estuary like what you see. And the fun thing is that River Congo carries what you call the large volumes of water, simply because we have a lot of tributaries like we have Kasai, and this river arises from what you call Katanga Plateau. As we know, River Congo, again, Congo is covered with what we call equatorial climate. This climate is rich in terms of rainfall, and the climate is hot and wet in the region. Then we have River Niger. Niger has a delta. But now River Congo, in fact, is known due to its estuary. The question number 7. The settlement patterns in Gendra area can be described as, we have the answers there. We have the dense, we have nucleated, we have linear, we have clustered. There is a conflict in between nucleated and clustered. Since now dense and linear is all along roads, along rivers, and the dense is when we have so many members populated, the high densely population in the region. We say it is densely. Now, clustered and nucleated. We say the nucleated, it is when we have the settlement on one side of the map. For example, if you can see on my screen, if we can have the settlement, the settlements of people on this side, maybe the eastern side, and the rest of the map, we have either economic activities, we can say it is nucleated. Clustered, it is what we have in the map, when we have members in small groups attracted by what we call economic activities. So the answer, the question number 7, the answer goes with what we call clustered. The question number 8. Which of the following factors will automatically enhance the day-to-day interaction of Kenyans today? We have the traditional ways of interaction and the modern ways. Traditionally, we had trade as a major way of interaction. Then nowadays, we have interaction that promotes most people in the world together, and even in Kenya, of course, which is education activities. But and again, if you are being asked about what you call interaction among the youth nowadays, it is social media boys and girls who are watching and listening to this clip. So we have education as one of the major factors that automatically enhances the day-to-day interaction of Kenyans today, and is a major one nowadays. But if it is among the youth, then we have social medias. If it is traditionally, we had what you call trading activities. Question number 9. Which group consists of the river lake Nilotes only? We have gems. We cannot classify gems under the river lake Nilotes. These are the plain Nilotes. The Kalenjins, we have the highland. The answer B, we have the Luo people, the Ala, the Pokotal, the highland Nilotes. Then answer C, we have the Shilak, we have Dinka, Choli, and Anuak. Those are the river lake Nilotes. They are Choli from Uganda, and the Shilak, Dinka, and Anuak from South Sudan. The Pokomo members, these are Bantu. So the question was, which group consists of the river lake Nilotes only? We have the Shilak, Dinka, Acholi, and Anwar. The question number 10. The time at Banjul 30 degrees west is 8:30 a.m. What is the time? What time will it be at Asmara 20 degrees east? The question is, I want to show you something on how we are working on this. The first thing what you do, I always advise my learners that we draw what you call the longitudes, and I want to draw them. These are the longitudes, and mostly they influence what you call time of a place. This is the western side, and this is the eastern side of the prime meridian, indicated is 0. So we go to the question. The question is, the time at Banjul 30 degrees west is 8:30 a.m. So we assume this is our 30 degrees west. The time here is 8:30 a.m. The question is, what time will it be at Asmara 20 degrees east? We assume now this is our 20 degrees east. This is our 20 degrees east. We assume so. So we draw an arrow from the 30 degrees west to 20 degrees east. So we are likely to find time at this point. So what happens? The first thing, we have what we call the degree difference, whereby we say when moving from the west to east, in terms of degree difference, we are going to add. And when moving from west to west, in terms of degrees difference, we subtract. When moving from east to east, in terms of degree difference, also we subtract. When moving from east to west, in terms of degrees, now we are going to add. So if you can see here, we have these degrees from 30 degrees west to 20 degrees east. So simply, we are going to do something here. It is an addition in terms of degrees from west to east. So what do we do here? Then we say we have 30 degrees plus 20 degrees. What do we get here? It is 50 degrees. Then we say if 1 degree is equals to 50 degrees, what about if 1 degree is equals to 4 minutes? 1 degree is equals to 4 minutes. What about 50 degrees? 50 degrees. How many minutes? What do we do here? We cross multiply. So we have 50 degrees by 4 minutes divided by 1 degree. So degree and this one goes. It is 50 by 4. What do we get? It is 200. So we get 200 minutes. Convert into hours divided by 60 minutes. So minutes dies and this one dies. 60 into 61 into 200. It goes 3 times, which is 3 hours, which is 180. And we remain with what we call 20 minutes. So we come here and say, if the time here was 8:30 a.m., what about this longitude? So we are moving towards the eastern side. And the eastern side, we are always ahead in terms of hours. So we are going to add. It is 8 plus what? Plus 3 hours and 20 minutes. It is 05, then 11. So the answer becomes 11:50 a.m. Can we check? The answer becomes 11:50 a.m. Finally, which pairs of rivers drains into Atlantic Ocean, boys and girls? Limpopo, Zambezi, Indian Ocean, River Nile, Shabelle, Indian Ocean. Rovuma, Orange, Rovuma, Indian, Orange, Atlantic. Orange, Senegal. The answer D drains into Atlantic Ocean. A minute, please. I'm coming back.